Ooh, I'm ahead of myself. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome back. You just figured out what the main idea of the text was. What was the main idea that we came up with? And I wanted to take some time to kind of refocus us. We're doing a lot of reading. We're looking at topic sentences. We're coming up with main ideas, but we're really doing that so that we can understand the text. We want to make sure that we can understand the text because we're going to be asked questions about the text after we read. And a lot of times for informational or for a nonfiction text, you're going to either be asked a big idea question or a supporting detail question. You know what big idea questions are and supporting detail questions are by now. We've been talking about this for 3 days, but just to kind of refocus us, we want to be able to tell the difference between the two so that we know where to go in the text or where to go in our organizer to find the information that we need to answer the questions. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, quick reminder, big idea questions are questions that we can ask about any nonfiction text. You're going to find the answers to these in your graphic organizers. In the main topic box, topic sentence, visuals, claims, organization, and even the main idea. You're going to find all of that in your organizer. Supporting detail questions, on the other hand, are questions that we will ask about a specific text. We can't find these answers in our graphic organizer. Instead, we need to go back into the text to find those answers. So now that we are really refreshing ourselves on the difference between a big idea question and a supporting detail question, we're going to answer some questions. You're going to be working with me. All right. So this is a question. What is the main idea of a tennis star? You guys, we already found the main idea. We did that in the last video. So the first thing you need to do is you need to think, is this a big idea question or a supporting detail question? Main idea. You're right, big idea, air high five. Good work. We actually already figured out what we said the main idea of this article was. We said that the main idea was that Jimmy Connors was known as a well-liked tennis player and the greatest tennis player of all time. So now we need to try to see if we can find an answer that really matches our main idea, and then we're going to be using some PO codes to eliminate answer choices that don't match up. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these answer choices. Jimmy Connors won 8 Grand Slam tournaments. Well, that does kind of prove that he was the greatest tennis player, but it's too specific. That's not what the text was about. Remember, we're looking for the main idea of a tennis star. B, Jimmy Connors never lost a tennis match. Well, he was really good, but that's not true. There was one year where he won 99 matches but lost 4. So that's too specific, and it's also just not true. Jimmy Connors made tennis fun to watch. There is evidence in the text that Jimmy Connors did make tennis fun to watch. Our main idea was really focused around Jimmy Connors being well-liked and being the greatest tennis player of all time. Making something fun to watch doesn't necessarily mean that he was well-liked. So that could be the answer. It might be too specific. I'm not sure. Jimmy Connors is known as the greatest tennis player of all time. Guys, that seems like pretty dead on with what our main idea was that we had come up with a little bit earlier. So I'm going to also kind of think between C and D. Jimmy Connors made tennis fun to watch. Okay, well, just because we make something fun to watch doesn't mean that we're well-liked. So it's not getting to that first idea. Just because we make tennis fun doesn't mean that we're the greatest tennis player of all time either. So that one to me is just seeming like a little too specific. It's not matching up with our main idea. So I'm actually going to say that one's too specific, but D, that one's correct. It's really close to our main idea. He was known as the greatest tennis player of all time. Go ahead and give yourself a little cowboy cheer. Woo-woo. Nice work. We did it. All right, we're going to do another question together. This is question number 2, part A. So remember earlier in the video I told you today was going to be the same, but a little different. Today we're going to talk about what we should do when we have 2-part questions. I'm going to answer one part with me, and then you're going to answer part B on your own in your independent practice. Let's read through the question. What conclusion about Jimmy Connors and his life as a tennis player is supported by the information in the passage? Okay, you know what to do. Big idea question or supporting detail question. Get ready to show me. 1, big idea. 2, supporting detail. Get ready. Show me. You're right. This is a supporting detail question. Give yourself a high five. You got it. So now we need to think through, how do we answer a supporting detail question? Well, remember, we always highlight the inference we're trying to prove, and then we figure out where in the text we need to look to find the answer. Then we look at the text, and then we use PO codes. So let's take a look. I'm making a conclusion about Jimmy Connors and his life as a tennis player, but it has to be supported by the passage. So I'm looking for information in the passage that supports a conclusion about Jimmy Connors and his life as a tennis player. Let's look at A. Jimmy Connors learned to play tennis from his brother. That's not true. He learned how to play tennis from his mom and from his grandma. That was in like the first paragraph. Jimmy Connors is considered the best tennis player in the world because he won so many matches. Well, he did win a lot of matches as a tennis player, and that was a big reason why the author thought that he was a really good tennis player. So that might be true. We're not sure. Let's keep looking. Jimmy Connors did not win any Grand Slam tournaments. That, my friends, is incorrect. It's not true. He won like 8 of them. So that's wrong. Jimmy Connors retired after 5 years of playing tennis. Well, I do know that he did retire, but it was after playing for 20 years. This is not true. So now when I'm looking, it looks like I really only have one correct answer, but answer choice B really does give me a conclusion about Jimmy Connors and his life. He was the best tennis player because he won so many matches. That evidence, he won so many matches, is supported by the text that I just read. That one is correct. We did it. Do a little dance in your chair. Could do a little TikTok dance if you want. But be as excited as these guys because we did it. We answered part 1 of a 2-part question. All right, y'all. So now what you're going to go ahead and do is you are going to scroll down and you're going to answer questions 1 and 2A on your Google form. You're going to tell me, was it a big idea question or a supporting detail question? And then you're going to give me the correct answer for the answers that we just went over. And then I'll see you on the next slide or the next part of your form for the last part of your lesson today. Great work. I'll see you on the next one. Yes.